This place is really special. Almost all the people that go to it are in the community. So it's a community-based church. It's a community-driven place.
One of the really good things about this church is just the way that the people really care about each other. It's called New Life Community Church. It's a church that really cares not only about the community outside of itself, but also cares about creating a sense of community within.
Right before service, our teachers are getting into their doorway, putting on music to play with the kids. We have our greeters and ushers just ready to help anyone they can.
That's one of the big things that I love about our church is that people, when they come in, they get a sense of just being welcomed. People here really care about one another. They care about visitors, and I think that really comes across.
The guy who leads the worship team, he's a longtime musician. He's been playing the guitar since he was 6 years old, and it really offers him a great outlet, as well as the others, to be able to use the gifts that God has given them in order to worship Him.
What really floats my boat is when I can get out of the way, and the worship team can get out of the way, and the body is actually the ones that take over at that point. So when that happens, that's the most fulfilling for me as a worship leader, is that I can totally get out of the way, and the body just takes over and takes off and starts praising and starts worshiping.
It is definitely a church of families. We got all sorts of kids, all the way from little babies to high schoolers, and it's a really good mix.
We have a place for every single age kid where they're going to be ministered to, so the parents can actually go to service and be fed spiritually and taught. You know, they know kids are around. No one's like, oh, children. Everyone's like, oh, yay, kids. Because they just know that's kind of the lifeblood of the church. It's our future.
Well, the number one thing is that I always want to go back to the Bible. It's the source of all truth. Really, the primary message that I would want to get across is the message of the gospel. Just the simple fact that Jesus is still in the business of changing lives. That just in the same way that Jesus transformed my life, Jesus can change anyone's life.
A casual, conversational tone while actually bringing really heavy-hitting truth. It's kind of like you don't even realize that you got hit by a truckload of truth, because he gives it to you in such a down-to-earth, bite-sized, relatable way.
When you come on Sunday, you need something in between to help keep you encouraged, to be connected until you meet the next Sunday. And so I found with being involved in the small groups, that's where really growth really takes place.
A small group of people meeting in someone's home, build fellowship with each other, make friends, but it's also to get more personal and more in depth with their studies. You get a lot on Sunday morning, but it's not enough, I think, to keep people really healthy going throughout the week.
Sometimes we try to spiritualize what it looks like to be in the community, and we think that really there's no purpose in the church being in the community unless somehow they're trying to do an evangelism effort or something like this. We're loving our neighbor. That's the whole idea. It's realizing that we're not just building a separate community unto ourselves, but we're actually engulfing ourselves in a much larger community and saying, how do we show you love?
We're creatively trying to make opportunities to connect in our community by meeting practical needs. Sometimes you gotta show that there's love, no strings attached, instead of, well, we'll love you if you come to our church.
I've always wanted to be a part of a church that no matter your financial background, no matter where you grew up, no matter your race or ethnicity, you could come here and say, we're all following the same Jesus together. Being able to come here and say, hey, maybe I don't even know where my relationship with God stands. Maybe I'm a doubter, maybe I'm someone who's following Jesus passionately, but I feel like I can call this place home. I want this to be a safe place where people can ask questions about the Bible and truly seek the Lord in an honest way. That'd be my greatest hope for this church.